So let us continue our lesson, the erosion and deposition by water. I explained you that this curve, when it comes, this is called a meander. And this, if it separates from the normal stream and it is U-shaped, it makes a oxbow lake, as I told you. See, I know that this is the meander, but you can see it, this is a normal plane and this is a small cut here. There is a small cut which is U-shaped. This is called oxbow lake. The normal plane is a flat plane. And here the triangle shape or the fan shape is called as delta. Here is the alluvial fan. This is the alluvial fan. When we come to the definitions, many layers of deposited sediment can form a flat area called a floodplain. Sediments often contains nutrients for growth plants. Now, please highlight with me on page number 33. On page number 33, that curves and bends that form a twisting, looping pattern in a stream are called as meanders. The cut of meander, and if this meander, it cuts a crescent shape, which is called an oxbow lake. Because usually in higher grades, there's a question that what are the formations by erosion after Yani? By water, what are the formation? What else they form by erosion of water? So you need to know that they form floodplain, they form a floodplain, they form meanders. Meanders is a simple U shape. Oxbow lake will be a separate cut. Oxbow lake will be separate, it will be separate. Then delta, these are the formation by water erosion. Delta, even if they ask you what are the features of erosion by water, so these are the features, they form this all. Delta, it will be like, or this shape, it's shaped like a hand fan, and we have alluvial fan, and we have alluvial fan. This is the main things in this lesson, that it forms. Now here, if you have underlined, let us go down. Deltas and alluvial fan. What is a delta? Streams often deposit their loads in a fan-shaped pattern that is called as delta. And similar process occurs when a stream or flow onto a flat land surface from a mountain or hills. On land, the sediment form alluvial fan. From the mountain or hills, they come and deposit with the sediments, a fan-shaped deposit that dries on the land, that is called as alluvial fan. So this was what all we had discussed before. And again, I have revised with you because these are the important. Now, how did the groundwater formed? Groundwater is water located within the rocks. And I told you the taste is a little bit different because it mixes with rocks in it. Coming to what is shoreline? Noor, can you read this out? What is shoreline?
Shoreline is the place where land and the body of water meet. Ocean water along a shoreline moves differently than river water moves. Ocean waves crashing against the shoreline have a great deal of energy. Strong waves may erode material. Gentle waves may deposit materials. In addition to waves, ocean water has currents or stream-like movements of water. Like
Okay.
waves, currents can also erode and deposit.
Now, when you go and stand in front of, in front of Shalal Park, there's a beach, Cornish, here in Jeddah, and you see the shoreline where this land and water they meet. Those are rocks are kept, big rocks are kept there, and big rocks are kept, and the ocean water comes and splashes there. Did you ever see, girls, in front of Atallah or Shalal? The opposite side, there's a beach where the water comes and splashes on the rocks, and the water, it's
Yes.
that girls, that means ocean waves crashing against the shoreline have a great deal of energy. With a lot of energy, they come and they splash. And what is a shoreline? Where the land and water meet, where the land and body of water meet. Ocean waves crashing against the shoreline have great deal of energy. Strong waves may erode material. If they are strong waves, they will erode, and gentle waves may just deposit materials. Erode, the strong waves will carry those material, and when the waves are slow, they drop, they deposit the material. Ocean water has currents or stream-like movements of water. Like waves, currents can also erode and deposit materials. Waves play a major part in building up, breaking down a shoreline. Waves slow down as they approach a shoreline. When the waves come to the shore, they're not that powerful how you see how you see after some distance. The first part of the shoreline that waves meet are headlands or pieces of lands that project into water. Now, what is a current? When a water travels almost parallel to the shoreline, the current is called a longshore current. Again, these two are not much important. You just need to know more about, what did I say you? You need to know the features. Delta. Please, girls, don't forget them. Alluvial fawn. What is next? Meander. Oxbow Lake. Floodplain. So what all, girls, is there? Delta, alluvial fan. We used to remember this way. Dam off. Dam off. D for delta, A for alluvial fan, M for meander, O for oxbow lake, and F for floodplain. Please, can you repeat it, Dishan, with me? What are the features?
Yes, Miss.
Tell me. D for? D for delta.
D for delta.
A for?
And A is for
Alluvial fan.
alluvial fan. And M is for meander.
Meander.
And
O,
O is bow.
oxbow lake.
And F is
Floodplain.
flood.
Can you repeat it, Judy?
Yes.
Oxbow, D, delta.
A
Alluvial fan.
alluvial fan.
M,
M
meander.
meander. O
Oxbow
oxbow.
lake. F, floodplain. I have made you highlighted. Please learn them, girls. These are important.
Okay.
Okay. What coastal landforms are made by erosion? Or better, just give me a moment. The rate at which rock erodes depends on the hardness of the rock and the energy of the waves. Girls, first of all, tell me what is the meaning of rock erosion? What is the meaning of rock erosion? Rock erodes. Like if this is a rock, here I'll draw and show you. If this is a rock, what is the meaning of rock erosion? These are become very small pieces because of weathering. What is erosion?
Setting.
Moving of rock. Moving of these small rocks from one place to another is erosion. So what is the rate? How fast it will move? Depending on what? Depending upon the size of the rock, the load, the weight, how much heavy it is. And like example, I give you something. Come on, move this. You will see how big it is, how heavy it is. If it is heavy, you will call your friend to move it. Right? Similarly, if the pressure of the water is more, the rock will move easily. So it depends on the hardness, how hard the rock is, and the energy of the waves. What are the waves doing? How fast they are coming? Gentle waves cause little erosion. Because of gentle waves, if this waves are very slow, one or two, no, they will not push the rocks. But if they are with so many waves with heavy flow, they will make these rocks go fly, and when the water flow is down, it comes and deposit here. So this is how it goes on. Strong waves from strong waves from heavy storms can increase the rate of erosion. Now, what coastal landforms are made by erosion? Very hard rock can slow the rate of erosion because it takes more wave energy to break the rock. Of course, when I draw a very hard rock and a soft rock, I'm sorry, girls. Shh. When you have hard rock and soft rock, and I ask you a question, which one will erode faster? Which one will erode faster? You will say soft rock will erode more rapidly. Soft rock will erode rapidly because soft rock is easy to break or easy to carry. When I'm talking about erosion, I must say about it's easy to carry. Bays, sea caves, wave-cut platforms, and headlands can form as a result of differences in the hardness of the sea caves are forming. Wave-cut platforms like Meander and Oxbow Lake are forming. All these are forming because of erosion. A sea cliff forms when waves erode and undercut rock to make steep slopes. Girls, undercut rock means if they cut this rock, they form a sea cliff. As a sea cliff erodes above the water line, a bench of the rock called the wave-cut platform can remain below the water line. The erosion of, I will show you the pictures and explain you girls this one. The erosion of sea cliffs. The erosion of sea cliffs and headlands can create holes that becomes sea caves. Further erosion can produce a sea arc and sea stacks. All this I want you to show in the picture, girls. I cannot just say you what is a sea stack, what is a sea cave, what is a sea arc. Let us see. Yes, here it's clearly shown. Now, when I say sea arc, you can clearly see this arc here. Okay, this is the sea arc. And this inside is the sea cave. This all have happened because of water erosion. Okay, I have shown you sea arc. I have shown you sea clay, a sea cave. What landforms can you identify them below? We can identify sea cave, we can identify sea cliff, and we can identify sea arc. What coastal landforms are made by deposition? Beach is an area of shoreline that is made up of material deposited by waves and currents. You know that when you say beach, you're talking about not the deep ocean. You're talking about where you can go and play around. That is the seashore or nearby. We have Obor Beach. We have beaches in Jeddah. The size and the shape of materials on a beach depend on how far the material has traveled, the type of material, and how it is eroded. What is a sandbar? Okay, normally here, especially in Jeddah, when you go to beach without your slippers, you can easily see those stones and, you know, unwanted material coming and touching to your feet. That is not very fine sand, because we have sand, gravels, or shell material. A barrier island is a long, narrow island, usually made of sand, that forms parallel to the shore. Everyone, they love islands, girls. Now, this is not those islands like where we go, like Mauritius or something. No, this is a small island which you can see in the middle of the beach. There is a small area, okay, maybe like the size of your room, and that is a barrier that is made of sand. That is called a barrier island here. Barrier islands are found all over the world. They can change the shape and can be eroded away by tides and large storms. Barrier islands and erosion can be slowed down by using sandbags and other. They use the anti-erosion techniques. Even the big islands, girls, they use, because we never know what will happen and when this whole island can sink in water. So that's why they have their own anti-erosion techniques. And I need to show you this by the video also.
Okay.
Video is important here because pictures will make your lesson interesting here, or else I hope it works today, as yesterday it wasn't. Yes, it is working, but I will just the last part because we just have 6 minutes.
A huge
Okay.
erosion is the movement of soil sediment. Landforms are in a continuous. This man is You just learned about 4 agents of erosion and deposition: water, wind, gravity, and ice. Now you will look more closely at one of these agents: water. Water is probably the most influential erosion agent on Earth. Did you know that the Mississippi River moves 140 billion kilograms of sediment into the Gulf of Mexico every year? Much of that sediment is deposited at the mouth of the river, forming the Mississippi River Delta landform. This landscape looks stable and unmoving, but it is always changing. Rivers and streams in the landscape cause erosion and deposition, constantly shaping the land in subtle or dramatic ways. Moving water works with gravity to affect the landforms that the water makes. Click the features to learn more about them.
See, this is the alluvial fan, floodplain, stream speed because particle load, stream gradient, and delta. I've explained you. I'm not going to click on each of it. We'll go to next part and
along with rivers and streams, sinkholes occur where the rocks below the land surface can naturally be dissolved by groundwater circulating through them. Caves are formed through the process of chemical weathering, as slightly acidic water dissolves rock. Water also erodes the dissolved material. A shoreline, the boundary between land and a large body of water, is constantly changing because of the erosion and deposition caused by water. Cliffs are formed by weathering and erosion.
These are cliffs, girls.
Erosion carries away rock particles.
This is why I wanted to show you the video so that you see the pictures of them and compare what is it.
Erosion and deposition are natural processes that can make beautiful landforms and rebuild sandy beaches. At other times, though, erosion and deposition harm the environment. When bare soil is exposed, wind and water cause much more erosion than when soil is covered by vegetation. Most of this eroded sediment ends up in surface water, including streams and lakes. This excess sediment can cause problems in water habitats by all of these landforms were shaped by water. But what kind of water? Classify each landform as being shaped by surface streams, groundwater, or waves by moving the images into the proper categories.
Waves. And these are surface. No. What is this? I cannot watch it.
Groundwater.
Okay, here. What is this? Again, waves.
Surface.
Waves, it will be because of
ground surface.
yes. No, waves again.
Ground.
The picture is actually not clear here. This is groundwater here.
This is ground.
Surface stream. Groundwater is just the sinkhole, and the shape is streams here. Right.
Good job! How do waves affect a shoreline? You've learned a lot about erosion and deposition by water.
This is called as alluvial fan.
Before we finish, let's take a quick look at the main points you covered. Water is a powerful agent of erosion and deposition. Different types of water form different landforms. Surface water makes landforms such as deltas and alluvial fans as it erodes and deposits sediment. Surface water also changes the landscape when it changes course or floods surrounding land. Groundwater forms sinkholes and caves. You've learned a lot about erosion and deposition.
That's it, guys. That's it for the class today. Take care and have a nice weekend. Happy weekend to you all.
Okay.